Tonight on First News at 11, the continued cold is causing problems for drivers across the area. The steps you can take to keep your car running as the temperatures drop below zero.
We could see record-breaking temperatures again tonight. I'll let you know how much longer this cold air is going to stick around.
And it's a story we've been following for years, the Amish hair and beard cutting attacks. The sentence prosecutors are asking a Northeast Ohio judge to hand down. Plus, you may have to start going to a new place to get your medicine because of changes one insurance company is making.
WKBN 27 First News starts now with severe weather from Storm Team 27.
Right now at 11, a frigid night. Temperatures already below zero, and it's only going to get colder. This is a live look right now from Boardman. We've already hit a record low today, and more than likely we're probably going to hit one heading into tomorrow. Good Sunday evening, and thanks for watching. I'm Matt Horn. This is the second night in a row we have temperatures well below zero, and we're not done yet. Alex George has been watching the conditions all night long. She's in the Storm Team 27 Weather Center with the very latest.
Well, the sunshine today was very deceiving. We had frigid cold temperatures, and in fact, we broke a record early this morning at 8:10. We hit -7. The previous record was -4. And in fact, as Matt mentioned, I believe we're going to break another record tomorrow. The record cold for tomorrow is -4, and as you can see out there, we're already well below that. 11 degrees below zero in Newton Falls, 7 degrees below zero at the airport, and 5 degrees below zero at Hubbard. And the nice thing about tonight is the winds have died down a little bit, so the wind chills are not going to be as strong, but we do have the chance for wind chills of 10 to 20 degrees below zero. We have a wind chill advisory in effect for Columbiana until tomorrow, and we have a wind chill warning for Mercer in effect until tomorrow morning as well. I'll let you know how much longer I expect this cold air to stick around coming up in just a bit.
Thanks, Alex. We continue our Storm Team 27 weather coverage as the frigid temperatures grip the valley. Don't forget, there are things that you need to remember to keep your car running with these cold temperatures outside. 27 First News reporter James Santelli is live in Youngstown with those details.
Matt, as Alex told us, it is that bone-chilling kind of cold below zero, and you know what? It also gets into the bones of your car. And if you're like me and you keep your car outside in the night, you're going to want to take some extra steps before you're ready for your commute tomorrow morning.
For people who may have stayed inside all weekend, the start to the work week is coming, and it's going to be a cold one. Angel Santiago is taking extra precautions to make sure he makes it into work Monday morning.
I probably won't sleep. I'll probably come outside every 2 hours, probably turn it on at least. Keep it warm, I guess.
While he goes out to start his car every 2 hours, Utzinger's Towing has other tips to keep your car running during this brutal cold snap.
That would be very important to make sure that you do have some kind of fuel additive, maybe in your gas.
In addition, Mary Utzinger recommends some more things to keep your car running.
I would make sure that your battery's up to par, your tires are at the right PSI, your windshield washer fluid is full, and your tank is probably over a half of a tank to make sure that you don't get any kind of fuel line freeze up.
It's advice that people are taking to heart as they prepare for a chilly Monday morning.
I'd rather have it working tomorrow for sure than to not be sure, wake up and then have to go to work and be like, oh, it don't start.
And once you get out on the roads, that cold, that ice, that snow, it's not melting away anytime soon. So one tip you want to make sure to keep aware of, keep enough space in front of your car in front of you. Mary from Utzinger's Towing says the #1 accident she sees in winter, people who are speeding too much and don't leave enough room. James Santelli, 27 First News. Back to you, Matt.
Thanks, James. And listen to this story. A man and his daughter became disoriented and stranded on Lake Erie while snowmobiling. The Coast Guard had to come in and save the two. If you take a look at this map, you can see it happened in northwest Ohio between South Bass Island and Catawba Island. An airboat and helicopter were brought in to save the two. Luckily, neither were injured. And one of our colleagues is being impacted by this winter weather. 27 First News reporter Eric Zarenko spent this weekend in New York City and couldn't get back to the area because of travel restrictions. He filed this report just a short time ago and continues our Storm Team 27 coverage.
Well, I am stuck in New York City right now because the bus service I take canceled every single one of its trips back to Western Pennsylvania today. Now, the reason these trips were canceled, it's not because of the snow. All the snow we were supposed to get here happened last night. The reason these trips are canceled is because of the high wind gusts that moved into the city earlier today. Today, the city had between 20 and 40 mile per hour winds with gusts almost up to 60 miles per hour. Now, winds this strong, they could easily turn over a bus, they could easily turn over a truck, and they create extremely dangerous travel conditions. Now, that's the main reason these trips were canceled. The other reason these trips were canceled is because of the brutally cold temperatures we're receiving in the city right now. Right now it's 13 degrees, but it feels like -3 degrees, and these temperatures are only going to get colder as the night goes on. Now, as for the bus lines, they should be back to normal tomorrow on Monday. I already rescheduled my trip for the morning, so hopefully I see all of you back in Youngstown bright and early Tuesday morning. But for now, reporting in New York City, I'm Eric Zarenko.
Thanks, Eric. Definitely glad he had his iPhone with him tonight for that report. Now, Boston's winter is one for the record books. February officially the city's snowiest month since 1872 when record keeping started. Snow totals so far have hit 45.5 inches. That's 2 inches more than a record set 10 years ago. And we have school closings and delays already coming into First News. You can see the list at the bottom of your screen, and also for a full list you can go to our website WKBN.com. Firefighters were out in the freezing temperatures earlier this afternoon to fight a fire on the city's east side. It happened around 2 this afternoon. Fire crews were called to this house on Dryden Avenue. Heavy smoke was pouring from the house. No one was home at the time, but firefighters had to force their way into the house to put out that fire. Now, even with those temperatures in the single digits earlier, crews say that they didn't have much trouble with water or the cold.
We got a good water supply here. We were fortunate today. We didn't have any issues with water supply. We had a good hydrant, and we didn't have any issues.
The cause of that fire is still under investigation. A few accidents this morning kept crews busy. This photo was sent in to us by a viewer, and it shows the intersection of Route 170 and 14 in Columbiana County. Oddly enough, the State Highway Patrol says the accidents did not happen at the same time. One person was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. It wasn't known what exactly caused the accidents. Now, about the same time, a semi went off the road along Interstate 80 in Mercer County. It briefly tied up traffic in the eastbound lanes. Pennsylvania State Police say there were no serious injuries. Well, to a story we've been following for about a week. Today, more than 100 Youngstown Developmental Center staff members got official word that the center is closing and they'll be soon without a job. 27 First News reporter Derek Lewis was at the meeting and finds out about the future of the residents and the employees. The story's new tonight at 11.
Anger and frustration fill the room of outraged staff members.
2 houses down front that house 5 people.
It was an emotional meeting as the director informed them that 2 developmental centers would be closing by July 2017.
I certainly didn't appreciate what he said.
Kevin Stringer expressed his concerns about the decision that will affect nearly 500 employees.
And I'm not going to sit around and wait for options. I'm going to go out and do whatever it is that I have to do to provide for my family.
The Youngstown Developmental Center says it is committed to helping staff members who will be without a job. The center will provide priority status for openings in Ohio and host job fairs, career counseling services, and meetings to answer training and unemployment questions.
They pledged to help the residents, and they pledged to help the employees find new employment. And I intend, as a state legislator, to hold the governor accountable.
We asked to speak with the director after the meeting for his response, but a representative said he was unavailable. 40,000 people are on the waiting list for services, including a place to live. The Ohio's Department of Developmental Disabilities says closing these 2 centers is the right thing to do because it is not sustainable use of state resources, while population in the area is decreasing. Staff members see it differently.
This is about the governor's move to privatize everything in the state. So this is motivated by politics, and I think the director has done an excellent job in securing his own employment.
For now, Kevin and others have a place to work until 2017. The department says they could close sooner than anticipated. If it does, appropriate notifications will be made. In Mineral Ridge, Derek Lewis, WKBN 27 First News.
And today is your last chance to enroll for 2015 coverage under the Affordable Care Act. Applicants have until midnight to sign up for health insurance on the federal marketplace. You don't have to complete an application, but you must at least start it by the deadline. Federal Exchange in some states like California and New York are allowing those who have been working on an application a few more days to finish picking a plan. Those who do not have health insurance face financial penalties.
I'm putting my big mouth out there to see if somebody will listen to, listen to this. This is ridiculous. All of a sudden, they want to go ship us elsewhere.
27 investigates hundreds of pharmacies across Ohio will start turning people away in less than 2 weeks because of major changes to the state Medicaid system. We got tipped off on this story from local lawmakers and frustrated patients. I investigated and got answers for you from the insurance companies and state agencies.
It's just ridiculous. I have a lot of prescriptions that'll just make a hardship for me.
Keith Clark and thousands of Medicaid patients across Ohio will have to go to a new pharmacy to get their prescriptions filled.
My pharmacy is 1 mile away. They want me to go 8 miles away.
The changes are for patients who go through the United Healthcare Managed Medicaid Organizations program. The changes only impact United Healthcare patients. Starting March 1st, at least 800 pharmacies across Ohio will not be able to fill prescriptions under the new network plan. According to the Ohio Pharmacists Association, the Department of Medicaid doesn't have any plans to stop the changes United Healthcare is making. Patients say the move is restrictive and will make it more difficult for those who don't have access to transportation.
They sent me a letter indicating that they are forcing me to choose a different pharmacy, and I don't want to go elsewhere.
In response, United Healthcare sent a statement saying, quote, as part of our ongoing efforts to ensure Medicaid beneficiaries have access to quality pharmacies that offer affordable medications, we are making changes to the network. We are working with those individuals who are affected by the changes to ensure they receive the medications they need, end quote. Senior Vice President of Pharmacy Operations for Hometown Pharmacies, Ron McDermott, says UHC's claim the changes will help with affordable prescriptions doesn't add up.
That doesn't make any sense. Why would the Medicaid system shove them to a pharmacy that's going to charge them more, or charge the Medicaid system more than what we charge them?
There is a silver lining for patients, though. If they wish to change to another managed Medicaid provider, they can do so through the end of April. State Senator Joe Schiavone says his office has been working to find a solution to help patients, but he's not sure if a solution will come soon enough.
There has to be some way that everybody can get together on this. Now, I'm not sure if there is.
For now, patients across the state are working to find new pharmacies or make changes with their current insurance company.
We want to get our voice heard.
Petitions across the state have been signed and currently are being signed to show patient support behind the 800-plus pharmacies across Ohio. Well, up in Cleveland, prosecutors are asking a federal judge to hand down the same sentences to those convicted in the Amish beard and hair cuttings when all 16 are resentenced next month. Those defendants were convicted of hate crimes. The members of the Northeast Ohio Amish group are scheduled to be resentenced March 2nd after their hate crime convictions were overturned. New sentences are required because of the original sentences being based on hate crime convictions and convictions on other charges. Now, they didn't differentiate between the two of those. The leader of the Amish community, Sam Mullet Sr., was sentenced to 15 years in prison. Part of a local bridge will be shut down to drivers starting tomorrow. The areas you might need to avoid on your morning commute. Plus, these students are getting ready for a real-life lesson in history. The special fundraiser held today that will make it all possible. And if you stay inside tonight, make sure you're able to if you can, because those wind chills are dangerously low. Here's a live look over downtown Youngstown. Alex George is tracking the temperatures for your week ahead. You're watching 27 First News at 11. Investigative, in-depth, in the Valley.